Hello and welcome back to manvfilm. It is March already and it's time for another 10 movies for you to check out this month. I hope you find something here that you really enjoy. So let's get started and dive into this top 10. Number 10, Contamination. A former astronaut helps a government agent and a police detective track the source of a mysterious alien pod spores filled with lethal, flesh-dissolving acid to South America coffee plantation controlled by the alien pod clones. From 1980, an Italian rip-off of Alien set on Earth with these wonderfully effective gruesome eggs that they have, and the body horror in this one is full chests exploding whenever the alien spores have had enough. There's no really rhyme no reason to why some of the deaths happen other than them being extremely cool. And if you're kind of curious about checking out Italian movies, this is a good place to start. It's rather indicative of that kind of subgenre that I really do like. Number 9, Pimped. A woman who isn't well equipped to live within society's accepted lines of behaviour, struggling with her own identity, desires and loves. When all this is threatened by a monster, Sarah calls on all of her strength and cunning to do battle with a psychopath and her own inner demon. I love Pimped. Pimped is a movie that nobody's talking about. Nobody's watched, and it's a terrific movie with only 3 main people pretty much within the storyline. It's about a woman goes to a house to meet up with a guy. Things just transpire for there, and I'm telling you nothing else. Pimped is a real surprise of a movie. It is awesome. You need to give it a little bit of time to get into the actual story. It will surprise you. You will be excited. You will be telling other people about how great this movie is. You really need to go on it. Number 8, Crank 2 High Voltage. Chev Chelios survives a fall from the sky. Sort of. He's in an unknown location, sedated while various Chinese are harvesting his organs. His heart is gone in an ice chest, a temporary replacement in its place. Chev escapes knowing only the name of the guy with the ice chest. He calls Doc Miles, an unlicensed cardiologist, who tells him there's only an hour life in the artificial heart and he has to keep it charged. Another completely ridiculous entry in the Cranked movies franchise. Unfortunately, there's only 2, but they are ridiculous and they just go so fast. It's just all about action. It's all about ludicrous story. It's all about getting from one crazed scenario to the next, even more crazy scenario. Jason Statham as Chev Chelios gives a wonderful performance in this one yet again. And if you loved the first one, this is more of the same, and yet somehow it's even crazier. It's terrific. Number 7, Bohemian Rhapsody. The true story of Queen's journey from the start of the rock band to their now legendary 1985 performance at the Live Aid concert in Wembley Stadium. The story chronicles Freddie Mercury's tempestuous journey from outcast immigrant struggling to find his place in a rejecting society to becoming a beloved and world-famous artist. Bohemian Rhapsody is brilliant. If you're a fan of Queen and their music, you're going to love it because it hits all the beats and drops all those fantastic songs that you know and love. If you're looking for a little bit more information about the band, a little bit more information about Mercury and their history, you're not going to find it here. It's all kind of common knowledge things that you already know. But it's entertaining thanks to that music. It keeps the story flowing, it keeps it energised, and it's just smile-inducing, toe-tapping and great. Number 6, Street Fighter. After months of fighting, a multinational military force in the Allied nations has managed to enter the city. The AN is fighting against an armed forces of drug lord turned evil warlord General M. Bison, who's recently captured a couple of dozen AN workers, and Bison has demanded that he gets 20 billion in 3 days or he will kill everyone. Street Fighter is gloriously 90s. It's over the top, it's vibrant in its colour, and it's excessively silly, but it is filled with some great action. And you get Raul Julia is Bison, who is so over the top that he just makes the movie work incredibly well. Street Fighter was really just written off when it first released, but looking at it now, it's just incredibly tongue-in-cheek, incredibly silly, and just downright fun. Number 5, Dragged Across Concrete. Once 2 overzealous cops get suspended from the force, they must delve into the criminal underworld to get their proper compensation. I love Dragged Across Concrete. It's a movie that takes its time. It's got 2 wonderful performances from Vince Vaughn and Mel Gibson as the cops who get suspended for doing their job while being a little bit heavy-handed at it. And they see an opportunity to rip off these criminals while they are suspended, and they decide to take that opportunity, but the ramifications are, well, I won't spoil it for you just now. You need to watch the movie, enjoy the hell out of this one. I think it's terrific. Number 4, Coming to America. Heir apparent to Africa's prosperous kingdom Zamunda, Prince Akeem summons up the courage to reject the arranged marriage proposal on his 21st birthday. Bent on finding true love, the young aristocrat, along with his trusted valet Semi, find themselves in the strange and unknown urban jungle of New York City's Queens, trying to mingle with their neighbours by posing as humble exchange students. One of my favourite Eddie Murphy movies, and it has him and Arsenio Hall playing multiple roles throughout it as well. It's just one of these endearing, fun movies which has some laugh out loud moments that's still as funny today as it was back then. It hasn't aged too well in certain aspects. For the most part, it's just a fun love story with great comedic beats in it. Number 3, Kong, Skull Island. A washed-up monster chaser convinces the US government to fund a trip to unexplored island in the South Pacific. Under the guise of geological research, the team travels to Skull Island. Upon arrival, the group discover that their mission may be complicated by the wildlife which inhabit this island. Skull Island is exactly what I want in a giant monster movie. It had stunning visuals, great characters, it had terrific action and plenty of monster action. This is the kind of movie that I can get behind and wholeheartedly recommend. Kong is a monster, a beast who's protecting his island. There is insurrection in amongst the various animals that are there. You get this infiltrating army who are trying to take Kong down, and it's just incredibly action filled and great. And with the addition of Godzilla vs Kong coming out in March, why not watch the best one of the Godzilla King Kong movies thus far? Number 2, Sneakers. Martin Bishop is the head of a group of experts who specialise in testing security systems. When he's blackmailed by a government agency into stealing a top secret black box, the team find themselves embroiled in a game of danger and intrigue. Sneakers is a terrific movie with a fantastic cast. I won't go through them all, but Robert Redford plays the lead role, Martin Bishop in here, and it's all about this group of characters who work together to try and sort good against evil, type of, but it's done in a kind of spy-centric way, and I love it because of that. It's one of these mysteries that has all these humorous beats because of the characters, but drives the story forward at the same time. If you haven't seen Sneakers, it's an amazing movie that I just utterly love. Too many secrets. Number 1, The Monster Squad. 12-year-old Sean Crenshaw and his best friend Patrick are die-hard monster fanatics. Along with their friend Horace, high school tough guy Rudy, Sean's kid sister Phoebe and little Eugene, they come together and talk monsters. But when Dracula, Frankenstein, the Wolfman, the Gillman and the Mummy come to their small town to get an amulet to control the world, Sean leads his friends into action to protect their town from forces of evil. Since the late 80s, when I first discovered the Monster Squad, I have been a huge fan of it. I think it is amazing. This was my Goonies. I did love Goonies as well, but this was more akin to my sensibilities. Having these wonderfully vicious and terrifying characters against these 12-year-old kids was so brilliant for my teenage mind, I just ate this thing up. I loved the action, the way it was set, the dialogue was fun. It was just super cool in the way it was laid out, and had such a riotous finale that I just really got behind it. It's been a love of my life for the past 30 years, and it will continue to do so, and I highly recommend this one. So there we have it, 10 movies from March 2021. I hope you find something there that you absolutely love, really enjoy, or hopefully nothing that ruins your evening. I'd love to know anyway. If there's anything I've missed off my list, let me know in the comment box, and I'll see you next time on Man v Film.